Story 7, Prom Night. I saved my paycheck to cover the expenses for the weekend. It was hard since I got paid every 2 weeks. Prom would land in between my pay periods, but I managed. I was determined to. I'm glad she put me on the store that sold alcohol to underage teens. After I picked her up, I dropped by that store and picked up a couple of six-packs and some wine coolers and rapped to her. She looked good in her black dress. She was a tall glass of cocoa, so she decided to wear flats instead of heels. I wouldn't have minded if she wore heels. It would have only meant more fun for later. Another strange turn of events is that our proms were on the same night. Since I was a senior and she was a junior, we stopped by her prom first. We mingled for a moment, took pictures, and left before driving to mine. We did the same thing there, just stayed a bit longer. The hotel room was closer to her place. We knew her parents would allow her to stay the night, so that's why we kept our stays at the prom brief, so that we have more time to consummate the night. I found a spot as close to the door as I could. I walked around the car, opened her door, and helped her out by the hand, and closed and locked it behind her. I led her to the room and let her inside once I unlocked it. She went straight to the bed and slipped off her shoes while I went to the fridge. I opened it up and passed her favorite wine cooler, a fuzzy Mabel. I had a Corona. I sat close to her, but not within easy reach. We chatted about the night while watching the clock. We rushed them down and then another, but was ready midway into the third drinks. It was cool because she had that look. The drinks went straight to our heads, and we were both ready to get to it. One of our first times having sex, neither thought to take it easy. There was so much that we didn't take into consideration, like her hair. We sweated her style out. This was a bit before I met her parents. I was late bringing her home, and she told me the next morning what happened. She told me that her mom told her not to bring any babies in the world. I felt ignorant after the fact, but was mindful to be careful in the future. So after she got naked and let those titties free, she bent over onto the bed and told me to come get it. In retrospect, I kind of missed and took those moments for granted, how easily turned on I was. I could go for longer and multiple rounds. One of the spoils of youth was not overthinking, or thinking at all for that much, and just getting into whatever it is to do. As we get older, the pressure builds and consequences are more obvious and prominent. So much comes at us that we lose our spontaneity. I'd have years to be concerned about such things. As for now, I'm enjoying the hell out of this moment. I felt like a porn star the way she looked back at me out the corner of her eyes to see if I'm enjoying myself as much as she was. She threw it back as though she was in love or something. I wasn't a bit upset about it either. Even though we were a couple, I will admit that as a teen, I wasn't having sex for the connection or building bonds. It was mainly to placate raging hormones and peer pressure. I was grateful to have a go-to like this though. After having our fills and cleaning up, I dropped off before a 1 a.m. curfew with her hair still intact. Then I went back to the room to spend the night. We cooked up a story to get her out the house early in the morning and go to church. We wanted to get there for Sunday school. The only thing is that we did actually go to church, and not Sunday school. I picked her up around 7 and bring her back to the room to finish getting my money worth before our 11 o'clock checkout. We left there at the latest possible minute to get there on time for the 11 o'clock service.